Hello, everyone. This is Chapter 3, Lecture Video, Part 4, which is on unearned revenue, which is another deferral. Okay, so what I'd like to do is to share my screen. Okay, so if you recall, we had this handout and we went over prepaid expenses where we originally record an asset and then we use up that asset. Like we bought supplies, so we have asset supplies, and then we used up the supplies. And the other type of deferral is called unearned revenue. We originally record the amount that we received in advance, cash in advance, as a liability. Matter of fact, remember when I in Chapter 1, I said, when you think of unearned revenue, you think cash advance. You're receiving money that you haven't done anything for. So until you do, you owe it. So again, if we practice this, I can say cash advance, and you'll say unearned revenue. Cash advance, you'll say unearned revenue. So here we received a cash advance of $500, but we haven't done anything for it yet. So we record the liability unearned revenue. And then later, when we do earn the money that we received, we then can reduce our liability by debiting the unearned revenue and recognizing our revenue. So that's kind of how it kind of works. Here's a good example of unearned revenue. Let's say that you own the Tower Theater and you are going to offer your patrons a smooth jazz concert series. You've got 1,000 ticket holders, and you're going to provide each of them 5 concerts, and they're going to pay you $60 per concert. So you are going to be receiving $300,000 in advance, right? And now you haven't done anything for it yet because you haven't provided the concerts, but you are going to receive the money as an advance. So debit cash, 300,000, credit unearned revenue, 300,000. The unearned revenue is your liability because you haven't done anything yet. Now, let's say that at the end of the month, on January 31st, you provide one of the concerts. Well, how much did you earn? Well, you're going to do 5 concerts. You've earned 1 out of the 5 concerts. So how much did you earn? Well, 300,000 times 1 divided by 5, you earned $60,000. So you can reduce your liability by that much. And then, of course, you can recognize the fact that you did earn it. That's how it kind of works. Okay. At this point, I'd like to try a quick study problem. It's quick study 3-10 on page 118, and I think it goes to 119 as well. So here it is. As far as what we're going to do, let me get my book out. Page 118, quick study 3-10. It's at the very bottom. So we're going to do A, B, and C. So letter A says that Krug Company collected $6,000 rent in advance on November 1. They debited cash and credited unearned rent revenue. So Krug is receiving a cash advance, but you haven't done anything yet. So Krug is recording the liability unearned rent revenue. Now, why did the tenant pay $6,000? It was for 12 months of prepaid rent. Right. So your tenant paid you 12 months of rent in advance, and occupancy began on November 1. Okay, so we're going to try to figure out, well, how much did we earn at December 31, right? The end of the year. Well, we took the money on November 1, right? The $6,000, and this represents 12 months of rent that your tenants gave you in advance. It's now December 31. So they've used that property for 2 months, all of November, all of December. That's 2 months. So you have earned, of that 6,000, you've earned 2 out of the 12 months. So you've earned $1,000. And how did I calculate that? 6,000 times 2 divided by 12 equals 1,000. Remember, this is 6,000 in advance, and you've earned 2 out of the 12 months. Okay. Now there's another way you can do it, and I like the proportion. You may not. You could do it this way too. You received an advance of $6,000, and it was for 12 months of rent in advance, right? So, well, how much is that per month? Well, 6,000 divided by 12 months. Basically, that tenant gave you $500 per month, right, for 12 months. Well, anyway, you're going to earn it. You're going to earn $500 per month as we go. Now, because we started this deal on November 1, it's now December 31, 2 months. So we have 2 months at $500. So, you know, you've earned $1,000, and you can reduce your liability. So either way you want to do it, this way, which I like, or this way, which you may prefer because it makes more sense to you more intuitively. Either way, I'm okay. So anyway, you're going to reduce your liability, unearned rent revenue by 1,000, and record the fact that you've earned rent revenue of 1,000. Debit, unearned rent revenue, 1,000. Credit, rent revenue, 1,000. Okay. Moving on to page 119. Oh, by the way, this up here, you see this? I'm sorry, that's related to the problem above, and I couldn't get rid of it. So our problem starts right here. So that this doesn't have anything to do with what we've just been talking about. Okay, so let's go to B. In B, we have unearned service revenue. The company charges $75 per insect treatment. A customer paid $300 on October 1 in advance. That's going to be unearned revenue, right? For 4 treatments, which was recorded with a debit to cash and a credit to unearned service revenue. At year end, the company has applied 3 treatments for the customer. Okay, there's a couple of ways we can do this. I'm going to do it my way, then I'm going to do it another way. It's actually pretty easy. They don't usually do this, but they did this time. You're receiving in advance $300 for 4 treatments, right? Well, you know that you have applied 3 out of the 4 treatments. So you've earned $225, right? The 300 of advance, and how much of that have you earned? 3/4 of it, right? 3 out of the 4 months. 300 times 3 divided by 4 is 225. Or you can even take, this is even easier. I love this. They, at year end, it said the company has applied 3 treatments for the customer. They tell you right off it's 3 treatments, and they know, you know that each treatment is $75. So you can come up with the same answer, $75 for 1 treatment, and times 3 for there's 3 treatments, same amount, $225. Either way, you've earned that money, so you can reduce your liability of unearned service revenue of $225 and credit service revenue $225. One more. Okay. C. On September 1, a client paid the company $24,000 cash for 6 months of rent in advance, right? In advance, it's unearned revenue, and it's 24,000 for 6 months of rent in advance. The tenant took occupancy immediately. Okay, and that was September 1. So you think about it, the tenant took occupancy immediately on September 1, and they gave you $24,000 for 6 months, right? So how much did you earn? Well, remember, you've earned 4 months worth, all of September, all of October, all of November, all of December. It's 4 months. So you've earned 4 out of the 6 months, right? And they gave you 24,000. So how much did you earn? Well, it's 16,000. 24,000 times 4 divided by 6 equals 16,000. Now, the other way you may want to do this, and I'm okay with it, whatever floats your boat, you know that you received $24,000 in advance for 6 months, 6 months rent. So how much is that per month? That's 4,000 per month. 24,000 divided by 6 equals 4,000. And how many months are you earning? 4 months. So 4 months at 4,000 a month, that's 16,000. Same answer, just a different way of solving it, right? Anyway, because you earned it, you can reduce your liability. So debit unearned rent revenue, 16,000, and then credit rent revenue, 16,000. Okay. I'm going to stop the share here. There we go. Well, that does it for the unearned revenue. And the next one, I don't even know what the next one is. Let's see, what would it be? Oh, it's going to be the accruals. Ooh, that's going to be good. So anyway, study hard and be looking for my next one on our accruals. See you soon. Bye-bye.